Hi everyone, and welcome. So I wanted to talk about the um, aluminium siding for your house. Now the aluminium siding that I've got is from Ullrich. So it comes in these longer lengths, so which is good for me. So we measured them up and we worked out what we would use is the minimum number of aluminium siding that we need. Um, so it goes on really easy once you get the hang of it. So that's it there. So it has this bottom section here. And on this bottom section, you can see that we've had to come down here because we had to do some measurements and things like that on it. And there were a couple of things that I thought were necessary to do. What I did was, and you might see up there, is that I fully did the whole side of this house with plywood. So I did the entire house in plywood, then I put the insulation on that and sealed it all up. Now this system is quite easy, is that once you've got your bottom on here, so forgive me for moving around a bit, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So once you've got the bottom on here, this one here has got this little groove underneath it. So that little groove then goes in, and if I just get it in on here, one hand, but it just clips in on there. So that clips in on there. Once that one there is clipped in, then these little cleats, and Ullrich supply all the cleats for it, they come up, and then this little cleat goes on here. I'm just doing this one here. So it actually sits in there, and then you put a screw in it. So I've marked where all my studs are. So I pre-marked all the studs, and I know where they all are, so I know where my studs are, so that I can screw into the stud through the ply. But with the ply on, it gives me additional alternatives to do different things, because this here, you don't know where the joiner is going to go. And everything about this is that you put this on, and the cover strip that goes over this clips in here, and that this has got little barbs in here. So it has these little barbs, and the next one that goes on it has got like a serrated edge, and it goes into it. They give you all the bits for they work out all the bits for around the windows. So that's all worked out. And all the corner pieces. So to give you an idea of how it covers it, I cut a little piece of the corner off here. So the corner piece goes on and clips on like that, and that's how it covers it. So it comes on and it goes up and covers the corners. So the corner will be covered like that, and in the center it's almost similar, is that there's another flat piece for that. But once you've got the little cleats on here, the next thing you go is that your next sheet, and I'm putting these up by myself. So these are big long sheets. The house here from end to end is 10 meters, so I'm able to do that by myself. But these little cleats, and the same one that you clipped in down underneath, so that clips in there, and when you have a look up under there, you can see that it locks itself in against there, and then you put your next little cleat goes up here. So you just go along and you put your sheet on, and then you put your cleats in, then put a sheet on, put your cleats in. And I'm doing this by myself, so I have cleats and two guns both ends, so that if I'm working at one end, then work up to the next end, then I've got to walk up to the next end. I can start up here and hold this one on with a screw and just leave it a little bit loose, and then work the rest of the sheet in. The idea is that you don't need to screw it in too much, because this is an old Queenslander. It is not the straightest house in the world, and if you go screwing them in tight, you'll buckle the sides. So they're firm but not tight, and that's the most important thing. Every now and then I'll go through and I'll put in a whole row with 2 screws in each cleat, but it only needs 1 screw in each cleat because of the way it's held on. So that's the way it goes together. It's a simple system. They have all the bits that come with it for around the window, so you don't have to worry about around the windows. They come with it, and all your corners come on, and that little cover strip will come around here. So if you're not exactly perfect on your cut, your little corner piece will cover it, and the corner piece is quite good. So what am I cutting it with? All I've got is a metal blade in a hand cut off saw, and I cut it by hand, and it cuts perfect. I have a drill because when I'm putting up all this other stuff, like this stuff here, I drill all the holes first, but the screws will go through it. But here you can see, I'm not sure whether you can see here or not, that there will actually clip into there, and you can see it has serrated edges on it, so that hooks into that little barb under there, and that hides your groove. So when that goes in, I haven't clipped it in, but when it clips in, you can see you've got enough room for error on your cut that'll hide it, which is fine by me because I'm not the best cutter, but so that's what it looks like. So I'm going 4 up around the wall at the moment, on all the walls, so that I can get all the walls done properly, start off on all the walls, and that way I've got a base to start with, and then I'll just work out over the next week or so putting them up, doing it by myself. Maybe I think once I get up to the window height down here, I'm back on small bits, so if I can do to the window height here by myself, that's the hardest part, because all the rest are just a shorter sheet, and they'll make it easier to handle. So that's the only that's my longest pieces there, and this one here is not as long as that, so, and because it's on the deck, I'll be able to do that by myself. And like as you said, when you get up here, you get on short sheets, they're going to be easier to handle by myself. Maybe some long sheets up on the top there, but yeah, we're not sure what we'll do there. I'll probably end up doing a join maybe in the middle of the top of the door, and then have those ones that come from that way back this way, and that one meet up that way. So we'll see what there, but once the kitchen is finished here and it goes out, then I'll be able to work that out better. But I'll do to the doors, and I can do all that stuff by myself while the rest of the house is being built. But the thing I found is that don't pull these in too tight, because you'll end up with a wavy motion in your in this. So these are powder coated aluminium. They're very thick. So they're very thick aluminium, they're not thin, and they got a lot of support in behind them. And being powder coated, never have to paint them. They're fireproof, and as you can see underneath there, how good they seal up underneath there. We're not going to have any water issues. Water coming off here will flow under here, and it can't go back up there because it has got that little lip there as well. So there's no exposed top lip on here, is not exposed at all. So it comes down and you can see it seals up under there. And even though I had to hang this one here below, because I have to line them up to get them around on the end over here, I had to get the lines up properly. Here, once this here doubles up, this is, you know, really strong. So I don't have to worry about any of the strength aspect of it at all. So I haven't seen any videos of this system on YouTube, so there's nothing there that I could relate to for me to do this, but I think it looks pretty damn good, and I think the house will look good after when it's finished, and it'll be easy to wash and pretty much cyclone proof. But the best decision I made was to put ply on, completely ply the walls before I started, rather than just rely on the studs, because that gave me more options to putting this up. So anyhow, I hope that might help some of you. I was going to do a video showing you that I can put these single ones up by myself, and how to do it by myself, but have to set the camera up and then have to go and turn it off and on, and it's only my phone camera, so I don't have remote stuff. So I really hope that helps some of you, because I was really wondering how it all went together, but there were no videos, so catch you next time.